everything that you had planned for 2022, you should probably be thinking 2024. Because here's an example. I'll give you an example. This morning, I was on the phone with our friend Ernie Hahn. Everybody here knows Ernie Hahn. And I said to Ernie, I'm sure you guys are starting to make plans for when the arena opens. But when the arena opens, let's just say the arena opens on 4th of July, and you've got a Justin Bieber concert on the 15th of July. Is that still booked and he just stays? He's like, oh, God, no. Every act has canceled everything, and they're all pushing everything out. So he specifically mentioned, how about this concert? There was a James Taylor, and I'm trying to remember who was opening for James Taylor, like Jackson Brown, something like that. And that concert has already been canceled for, call it July 15th, and already moved into 2021, way back. So I have a friend who owns a hotel not too far from where you live, Landon. They told me they will not open the doors until January 1st, 2021.
Wow.
A hotel?
A hotel.
Ooh.
Wow.
Interesting.
So, listen, we don't really know what the economic impact. How about this? I'll throw another option at you. How about you've decided now working at the office sucks, man. I don't even like getting dressed anymore. I got all my stuff right here. I'm more productive at home than I ever was at the office. I don't waste time in my car. I don't waste time going out to lunch. I am more productive at home. So you know what? That office space that I used to pay for, I don't need it anymore. And when that happens and nobody's there to fill it, then what happens to our economy?
I mean, if you're talking from a stadium standpoint, look at the Rams. Look at that thing. It's up to what now? $5 billion in cost?
No. Yeah. $5 billion, right.
$5 billion it's up to?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Wow.
So I got to be honest. I don't see them being able to build the stadium by 2022. And look at the issues that Kroenke, and he's got money. He's got enough money to pay whatever to build a stadium. Mm-hmm. If you start to do a little bit of cost overrun at SDSU for that stadium and that property, who are they going to turn to?
Right.
Well, you think sports across, like the Bundesliga, Landon is opening next week. How much are you guys paying attention to that as a league to see how they do it?
Yeah, a lot, because you need guinea pig's not the right word, but you need to see success stories, right? So we're following, but we also want it to go well. Mm-hmm. I think this idea that everything's going to be perfectly smooth with any kind of opening needs to go out of our mentality, because the virus is still here. The virus is still going to be here. We just have to figure out a way to do it in a responsible way. So I hope there are not major hiccups and that they can get back to playing even without fans, because I think you guys probably feel the same. If you're a sports fan right now, I'm watching like marbles on ESPN.
Yeah, marble racing is awesome.
I'm so bored.
Are you watching UFC on Saturday?
I mean, I can't stand UFC. Like, I don't want to see people punching each other all day, but like I might turn it on and watch.
Yeah.
I'm just bored. I just want something to watch.
Yeah.
That's funny, because I was watching a slap competition yesterday because I was bored.
The Russian slapping?
Yeah, good.
God, slapping is one of those games where I'm like, God, what if I was there? Like, I could dish it out all day long. I'll smack the shit out of somebody, okay? But they get to smack me back. I don't want to be smacked. Don't smack me, please. Go easy on me.
I'd rather be punched than smacked.
Slapping just sounds so much worse.
It stings longer.
Yeah. Landon, did you ever play any games without fans?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we played, not personally, but we played that game in Tacoma.
Right, but did you ever personally play any?
It feels like a preseason game.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to feel like to the players. Eventually you'll get used to it to some extent, but especially soccer, it's such a it's an active experience. If you go to a Padre game, no disrespect, but it's more of like a passive experience where the fans are kind of not paying attention. They're not cheering. But soccer is very active. And so that's going to be weird for soccer players.
When you're out there playing as an athlete, it's different than a practice speed than a game speed. And if you're saying that the setting is going to feel more like a practice, do you think it's going to be harder to get guys to go to that game level?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know. That'll be interesting to see, because there is something about, like, mentally, if you played 300 games in front of all these fans and you walk out, there's nobody there. There's no noise, no excitement, no energy. How are you going to – that's a good question. I don't know. We'll see.
What about as a viewer? You think what do you think it'd be like if you had to watch Drew Brees take on Tom Brady in an NFL football game? You're at home, which is where you always watch the games anyway, but there's nobody in the stadium. You think just an opinion. You think as a viewer you'll even know the difference?
Yeah, I think you will. And I think TV production people probably right now are trying to figure out how you minimize that difference as much as possible. Because think about every time you watch a game. So there's like the overhead shot from the blimp where you see the crowd full. And then every touchdown you see people cheering. You see jerseys, cheerleaders, other people on the sideline. Like that's going to be – I have no idea, man. That's going to be weird.
Yeah, you're not going to need 30 camera guys to focus on fans. You're just not going to need it. So maybe we'll get different angles of players on the bench or something to like a different angle of something.
You know the angle no one's talking about, the language. The language on a football field is horrible. The language on a basketball court is pretty bad.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I doubt they'll have those. I doubt they'll have those field mics.
But if you don't have the field mics, it's literally going to be dead silent. It'll just be the announcers talking. I think they're going to have to tell people the explicit language, some type of tab before the play starts when they come back from commercial.
Hey, well, Last Dance is uncut and uncensored, and no one's complaining about it. So just tell people, hey.
Pump in like crowd noise?
Ooh, good question.
There has been
Masters pumps in like birds chirping.
No way they do. The Masters,
like CBS does that.
Okay, because what you just did by telling me that, it was like I all of a sudden
was mine.
No, I was 13 years old again, and my uncle told me that wrestling was fake, and I was like, wait, what? Oh my God!
All right, I don't know that. I want to go back on the record. I don't know that for sure, but I did hear that from someone.
Hey, Landon, while we have you, let me throw a couple of topics at you and just get your opinion, sports related. You ready? Today, Phillip Rivers announces that when his NFL career is over, he's moved on from the Chargers to the Colts. We're going to Colt up rather than bolt up. Now that Phillip Rivers has announced he's going to become a high school football coach after he retires. I don't know if you heard about this. Like the press conference at an Alabama high school. When I'm done playing, whether it's this year, next year, I am coming to Alabama. Drew Brees is going to NBC to make like $20 million a year to be an announcer. Phillip Rivers is going to a private school in Alabama to make like $20 grand a year as a high school football coach. What do you think about that?
I think that's true to his personality, right? I mean, he's kind of always been, you guys know better than I do, but like he's just a humble, down-to-earth dude. And is he from Alabama? I should know that.
He is from that way, and he moved recently across the state line to Florida. So like right in the border of Florida and Alabama.
The Panhandle. Why wouldn't he just come back and do it in San Diego?
Because his dream was to do what his dad did, which was coach there and coach his sons. I know.
But he knows, he remembers the weather here, right? Beaches.
I know, but
actually,
also
there's nice beaches that part of the country, like Pensacola and all those.
And by the way, the house that he had here, which let's just call it a $5 million house, dude, he got the same house there, cost $5.
I know, it's true. Well, good for him, man. Whatever.